This here is from a PB podcast who I watch once in a while, and he brings up the point that if Johnny lost, then Justin Baldoni might not be going so good, and that Johnny's case was really important because it lets people think a little bit now, and not just people, more of like the mainstream. So let's hear him out. Just for some context, before this, they were talking about Blake Lively. PB's kind of a political guy, but one of his guests is kind of following the Blake Lively thing, so she explained it to him, and then he said this.
What happened with Amber Heard, and what was the other guy?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. This is such an important story. I know you don't give a shit about it, but this is such an important story because if they would have won against him, a guy whose dream was to be a Hollywood actor, producer, director, they could have crushed his career if they would have won.
And they tried to do that. There was actually text messages where they showed that Blake is saying things. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but she compares herself to Khaleesi. I believe she has dragons. She's like, I have dragons just like Khaleesi. I have Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. They were doing everything they could to intimidate this guy who is a much smaller actor than Blake Lively. And, not Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds is like the A+ of all Hollywood actors.
So as you can see, they're getting into some of the basics about the case that we know, but I'm not even sure that PB made the point so super clear, because kind of astounding he didn't call Johnny Depp by name. But anyway, I think in general he's on the side of doing the right thing, meaning innocent until proven guilty. Now I'll bring it up. If Johnny didn't win, we might have a very different air here around Blake Lively. We might have more of a, well, let's think about this. Is she lying? Is she not? But now that we've always got this like foundation comparison for all similar type things, it makes it easier to listen and hear the facts. Call me crazy, but that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. And Johnny kind of did that. He kind of changed the course of history a little bit.
So, yeah, they tried to completely intimidate him, and it's amazing to see that it hasn't worked.
And America almost hated Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Of course.
And by the way, you know what we haven't seen? When's the last time we saw a movie? What was the movie that he was doing?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
When's the last Pirates of the Caribbean? When's the last Pirates of the Caribbean?
10 years?
Can you tell when is the last Pirates of the Caribbean?
2017.
8 years ago,
Well,
right?
they'll probably remake it with a black lesbian.
Well, that might actually be true.
17.
Yeah.
Why? And if you look at it closely, how many years it is apart. Rob, go back, zoom in a little bit. So 3 years, 1 year, then you got 4 years, 6 years. Yeah. So I don't know what movie Johnny's done the last 5-6 years.
Probably
What
not.
is the last movie Johnny Depp did?
Okay, well, obviously, we can answer that question. But like I said, PB here is not an entertainment guy. He doesn't follow this stuff. He does a lot of politics, heavy politics. But of course, everyone knows the case, at least on the surface level. And, this is very recent, by the way. This thing's from like a day ago, and he could put it together. He could be like, hey, wait a minute. I remember that case with Johnny. Oh, this Blake Lively kind of like Amber.
No,
What is the
man.
last movie Johnny Depp
I
did?
don't think he's done anything.
No, he's been
since,
playing the guitar and like touring. And
He hasn't done a movie in God
I mean,
knows how long.
He got back
last
into music,
movie-
right?
So he did a bunch of voice work, and then he did Louis the I don't know what number.
Jean de Barry.
Yeah.
You
But go
don't know
ahead.
that Louis 15th?
Okay, so at least they looked it up.
Oh
Amy,
my God! this
Anything
idiot.
else with this?
I don't know what number this is.
It's going to end in court. I'm very
Stupid
excited
American.
to see this potentially be live streamed and broadcasted the same way the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial was. So I just really can't wait to see this entire thing play out.
You made a good point because by the way, he's finished.
It's so funny, man, because like this lady especially, don't know exactly who she is like so giddy to see this court case when it's really a serious thing in these people's lives, especially for Justin, because he's the one who's kind of the victim here. I mean, according to her and a lot of people, he was like this stand-up guy, cares about women, some kind of a male feminist even. So it's like she mentioned the breastfeeding thing, and allegedly Blake Lively actually said to Justin, I'm breastfeeding, but why don't you come in now? And Justin, being like this like male feminist guy, was kind of probably like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm this soft guy and she trusts me and I'm going to go in there and, it'll be all good. And she invited me.
He's done. Like
Mhm.
in Hollywood, nobody's gonna touch him. So that person that you're talking about, it's him.
Kevin
His
Spacey
dreams,
will.
everything that he's done. And then Amy, just
mean,
really
he
fast, can
was-
you go back to your the editing process? There was
Mhm.
text messages where the editor was like to him.
Yeah,
right,
they're
asking
trying to console him. They're like, I'm so sorry. Like, I know this is your project. I'm sorry we can't show you anything. I mean, for him as well, he instantly had his
Right. So they're getting stuff now, how Blake Lively kind of took over production, and that would be really frustrating. And I think creative stuff, whatever it was, and God knows how much she changed and how frustrating that must have been. But anyway, that's about it. Like I said, I check out PB once in a while. Found this one kind of interesting. I do not know who that lady was. She had a very interesting accent, to say the least. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.